Hello, my Cudi. Asking Radio is here. Tell everyone you know. The wait is over. 98.5 Speed FM.
Catch us if you can.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is SPEEDy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Makudi. I am Ndote Benedine Yaapera, your host for today. Shout out to all females for today being International Girl Child Day. Today our focus is parent-to-child communication. We'll be discussing the act of communication between parents and their children, how communication flows between a child and his parents, if the communication between both parties is healthy and effective, especially for a girl child. You can also be part of us when you join us on Facebook. That's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. Do well to like our page and stay up to speed for updates. This is SPEEDy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. Our focus for today is parent-to-child communication. We'll be discussing the act of communication between parents and their children. How communication flows between a parent and a child if the communication between both parties is healthy and effective for a girl child. Today with me in the studio are... They will be sharing their opinion on parent and child communication. Over to you now, my friend Mimi. How do you identify a healthy parent-to-child communication?
I can say by active listening, because if a parent is always listening to their child, I think there will be a stronger communication or a stronger bond between the parent and the child. So if the child has anything or any trouble, once the parent is all ears, like listening to what the child is facing,
yes,
I think there's a stronger bond between the child and the parent.
Okay, so Miss Laady. Okay, so Mimi.
Yes.
How do you identify a healthy parent-to-child communication?
Okay. Active listening. because if as a parent you're supposed to be listening to your child at all time, because your child can be going through something, and if you're not listening to the child can make a bad decision which can affect the child and also the parents. So the parents supposed to be always all ears, not just actively listening. You can also be watching your child, be seeing, observing your child movements, so that the child will not make certain mistakes that they will end up regretting.
Okay, so Laady,
Yep.
how do you think you can identify a healthy parent to child communication?
I think you should create boundaries for your children. You should be like open to them. When you are open to your children, they will feel free to come to you whenever they have issues.
Okay.
So parents should like ensure to like give them the listening ear whenever they are free or when the children needs them. But sometimes in them to like be busy. They claim to be busy per se. I'll say it. They claim to be busy and don't have time for the children. So at that, the children find it difficult, and some are very harsh to their children. So if they are not harsh, it will enable the children to like come closer to them.
Okay, so you're saying active listening contributes to the healthy communication between a
Yes.
parent and a
And a
child.
child.
Yeah.
And also to add to that, I want to also say being non-judgmental,
Okay.
because many parents tend to criticize their children in anything they do. So if you continue like that, your child will not be open up to you. So as a parent, I think you should be not judgmental towards the decision of, even though the child made a bad decision, at least try to correct it, but don't be judgmental concerning their decision they are making.
Yes, actually being judgmental drifts the both parties apart, because a child now, it will be very hard for you to actually go up to your parent and be like, okay, yes, this is what is happening to me and all of that. So Mimi, what are the common communication barriers between a parent and a child?
I can say lack of interest, because some parents, they don't really have time. They don't like focus on their children. They just ignore everything they do. So they don't really have interest in what their children do. So basically, they just do not have interest, just lack of interest.
Okay. So Laady, what do you think are the common barriers that happen between communication for a parent and a child?
I think when the parents are harsh, like they don't give a good environment, create a good environment, like listening environment for the children, it give the children the opportunity to go out there and like misbehave or maybe seek information from other sources.
Okay, that's making them to be secondary to the information that's passing to the children.
Yes.
Yeah. And also all those parents who claim to be distracted, they're always claiming, I'm busy, I'm that.
Exactly.
You are never having time for your children. Your children can be out there doing something stupid,
Yes,
while you
it
are here
actually
claiming you
contributes.
are distracted, you are busy, you are doing this and that. At times many parents fail to understand that being a parent is not all about providing their needs. It's also training them.
Yes.
Because you are there saying, I've tried for you, I'm paying your school fees. Yes, that is a basic. Do you expect me to pay my school fees myself? You're my father, you're my mother, you are meant to pay my school fees, you are meant to provide for me.
But some parents think that paying their school fees, like the children's school fees, is more than enough. Instead of listening, educating a child is not about sending the child to school alone. You're not supposed to learn only in the class. You learn outside the class as well. So what your parents teach you at home matters a lot. You go a long way in your career, because it's what affects you after there. But some parents don't be harsh on the children whenever they come to get information from them. So it's very hard for the children to come to them whenever they,
especially the female children, because most parents do not really respect female children. Because I've seen homes where they did not give respect to the female children, only give respect to the male children.
Exactly.
They'll be like, you end up being your husband's house. There are certain things you need to put to respect your children. you respect them, you give them the respect they need.
Yes, and then they tend to forget. Most parents, they're like, okay, it's my duty to provide for you, and then they forget to provide also emotional support to their kids, and they tend to be strict to their kids, which like make them drift far from them. They don't find it safe.
You can be strict.
Just imagine you are not always comfortable around your parents.
Yes.
Once your parents is close to you, you are
moving.
You are afraid. They have that spirit of fear when
you
their
have to
parents
be
is close
strict,
to them.
quite alright,
Very
but at
strict.
least there should be a limit to that.
So now they'll be like, if your father is coming to the strict parents, if your father is coming to the parlor now, you'll be like, oh, daddy's coming, oh, daddy's coming, let's go out.
They are always running.
So
And most homes do not have family time.
yes.
Every time if you come back from school, read your book, do this,
Go and read your
house
book,
chores.
that kind of
Read your
thing.
Especially female children.
You
Come
are
back,
supposed to
they
be
get
in
back
the
from
kitchen.
school. You're supposed to be in the kitchen, supposed to do the house
Supposed to
chores
be-
and that.
yeah.
So it's not really encouraging.
Yes.
Most parents they need to
To
step
work on
up.
that,
They need to work on some things they are doing, which is not good.
So you know that ineffective communication affects children, right?
Yeah.
So Mimi, what can ineffective communication between a parent and a child cause on a growing child, especially a girl child?
I can say low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because most people, like especially female children,
Yes.
they tend to be low. They don't really have confidence in
confidence.
themselves.
Mm.
So anything they do, they feel like it's not really right, and that thing can lead to their friends giving them bad advice.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see a lot of people doing some kind of things. It's even them to doing it. They're even surprised that me like this, I'm doing this kind of thing. So I say low self-esteem in general.
Yes, because if now you don't communicate to your parents or they make you feel less of yourself at home, you tend to have very low self-esteem. Even if someone tells you that, oh, this thing looks good on you, you now remember that, oh, my mom said this to me or my father said this to me. So Laady, what can ineffective communication between a parent and a child cause on a growing child, especially girl child?
Okay. Just like my colleague said,
Yes.
I'll say self-confidence. They lack self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they are out there and they want to like push themselves, there are some parents that actually they tell their children, you can't be this, you can't, especially those ones that are living with their uncles. You'll be like, hey, you can't do this, you can't be this.
Okay.
So at least, even if it's not your child,
Okay.
you should push her to some extent. Tell her you can do this. That will give her the confidence. Even when she can't do it, she will keep on remembering that I need to do this.
Okay, so apart from low self-esteem, I think it causes anxiety, depression, mood swings, unnecessary mood swings at home, especially at home when you're at home and then they send you unnecessary mood swings. You feel they don't understand you, and even if you share your opinions with them, they will not understand you because of the way they are treating you. And you notice that they have difficulty in managing their emotions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they have no one to talk to, so they just basically suffer everything on their own. They suffer everything alone.
Okay, so do you have any personal experiences with your family, Mimi?
Well, not really. Sometimes there's some kind of discussion problem I have. I don't really go straight to my parents. I used to meet my elder sister.
Okay.
Yeah, so I usually don't close my mouth. If I'm facing any challenge, even though I cannot tell my parents, at least I have someone there to talk to, which is my elder sister or any of my elder siblings.
Okay, so why is it so?
Well, sometimes I feel like I'll be afraid that if I talk like this now, they will not correct me.
They won't understand you.
Or sometimes I just feel like it's something it's not really something that
they
will
will
concern them.
understand.
Yeah, so I'll just tell my sister about it. But sometimes I also used to open up to my parents.
Okay, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Which is not
Okay.
often.
Sometimes I open up to my older siblings.
So, Laady, you have any personal experiences you'd like to share?
Yeah. In my own case, I normally talk to my siblings, just like she said, because I did not grow up with my dad or my mom. I grew up with my uncle, and God, it has not been easy, to be sincere. It's not easy because.
So, what are the effects that it has had on you?
Okay, he did not give me that. He has never been encouraging. He always told me that, Laady, you can't be this, you can't be that.
So you have low self-esteem?
Right, to some extent, yeah. I did. But going out, mixing with others, it made me to push myself. I need to prove to him, not just to him, but to myself, that I can be better.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do the things that he think I can't.
That's good. Alamasha Godobi is here with some insights from people on the streets of Makurdi. Let's listen to them.
Do you have a good communication with your children?
Yes, I do. I have 4 kids, 2 in secondary school, 1 in primary school, and 1 a toddler. Okay. And I give them the freedom to tell me everything that happens in school and around them. They've been doing so. They are free to tell me anything, and no matter how scary that thing may sound, I find a way of discussing with them.
Do you feel free, discussing sensitive issues with them?
Yes, I do. Because there's no fear in talking about your sexual parts. For me, I feel they are just normal body parts like the head, shoulder, knees, and toes. And I think previously, shying away from talking about sexual things causes more harm than good. I make them talk to me about things that have to do with their sexual organs and even their sexual feelings. I check on them even in those aspects.
Have they ever reported any case of abuse to you?
My first son is 14, and I know when he's having a crush or when a girl is crushing on him. He's so free to tell me. Wow. Yes, and even the girl too. Recently, she told me how an SS1 student, she's in JSS3. Okay. She told me how an SS1 student approached her for friendship and how she seriously warned the guy. And then she was telling me without fear, because she knows that I won't scold her. Instead, I will advise her right.
What is your advice to other parents about communication with their children?
I sincerely urge other parents out there to give their children enabling environment to talk to them. Because if you don't talk to your children, if you don't let them talk to you, and they mistakenly find friends that discuss these things with them, if those friends are discussing those things with them, with time they'll believe their friends more than you, the parent. They feel that whatever you are telling them as a parent at that moment is secondary to what their friends have told them. Personally, I have been a victim of that. I grew up in a family where I wasn't really allowed to discuss those things with my elder sisters or parents. So I took most advices from friends, and I know where such advices landed me. So I've made it a point of duty to make sure I talk to my children. I use myself as an example, and it's really working out for my children. And I urge other parents out there to please allow their children the freedom to talk to them, so that they can be able to discover deep secrets about those children and the things happening around them.
Wow, that's very nice. You notice that she actually engages in very open conversation.
Yeah, she makes sure her children are open to her. Especially when she spoke about the sensitive topic, because some parents have this mindset that this thing is so sensitive for my child to talk about.
Yes,
because I can tell you, right from when I was small, my mother had been telling me things, sensitive things, she has been advising me. So I've been exposed to all those things right from
when you were a
when I was a child. Yeah. So it's so shocking when children, my mates, would tell me that my parents have never told them this kind of thing before. And I'll be like, this thing has been like a ringing tone to me right from when I was small. My mother have advised me about so many things, and she doesn't shame, because like she said, your private part is also part of the body parts, so there's nothing to be ashamed of there.
Yes.
You need to educate your child concerning things.
And
Don't
the
shy away
most
from those
important
things.
part of this is that she feels shying away from this causes more harm
than
good to the child.
Mm.
You know, educating your children, like if they reach of age, is really, really nice. It helps to put them, even if they get into those kind of situations, they know how to go about it naturally. So let's listen to more.
Do you feel free having sensitive communication with your children?
Yes, my children are underage. None is matured. So issues that pertain to sensitive discussions like that, I always avoid it from discussing with them, because I feel they are not matured enough to be introduced to such things.
Don't you think it's better if you introduce them at this age?
I still not agree with that, because exposing them at this stage is like risking them. Like I always restrict them from touching phones and then doing all this internet browsing, all this pornography, this thing which some parents used to expose their children to it. I don't encourage it in my house, and I feel every parent should be mindful of this thing.
What is your advice to other parents about communication with their children?
Communication is necessary because it improves knowledge and relationship good. So I encourage that they should speak to their children, show them how to communicate, but it should be reasonable.
Oh, well, he thinks his relationship with his children is healthy enough. Yeah, and I think that it encourages time for his kids. But also, I also think him refusing to allow his children use phones at that age is not what actually brings about the corrupt mindset that children have nowadays. Without phones, I can tell you that without phones, people
They can still be
yes,
corrupt.
in school.
Yeah.
In school, if you go to school now, you meet other people, you mix with people, and then they tend to influence your behavior. So if you don't have good home training, you will actually be influenced.
Sometimes it's not all about the good home training itself. It's not all about the good home training, because I had this classmate of mine. Her parents were so strict that she's always indoor, and she's this kind of person that her parents did not give her phone until she got to university. So when she got to university like this, she experienced little freedom and she started misbehaving. So if you feel like your child must not have a phone, they must be indoor always, once they get a little freedom, they will just misbehave.
Everyone have his or her own opinion, you get. So but as for me, I think it doesn't matter how old your children are.
Yes,
you should educate them on things so that whenever they get to that stage, and they will know how that guy, even when somebody's trying to deceive them, they will know that no, I've been there, I know what this is all about. So they will know how to handle themselves.
So he actually thinks he's protecting his kids, but
that's not protection.
Yes, that's not protection. If you want to educate your child, you have to start from when they are really coming up.
Yeah.
If you allow them to grow up, they will not listen.
There's a saying that you can't bend an iron, but you can bend a fresh tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because children are not too little to know
to understand things.
Because you can see, I have a cousin of 3 years old, and that girl, the thing she says, I'll be like, you just get really a 3-year-old child, because she says things of even a 30-year-old person cannot even say. So I feel a child is not too little to acquire knowledge.
Yeah.
So even though the sensitive stuff you want to say you might not feel comfortable, but at least tell them.
There's a language that you use,
because this lady, she spoke about her daughter rejecting a guy. I mean, she has not been advising her daughter concerning boys. Yes. And the boy approached her. This is where the problem will start.
Yes,
from.
they tend
because
to
now,
fall victims.
Yes, they'll be a victim of all those stuffs. So if imagine the girl accepts the boy now, and the boy is not a good person, it's a bad person. This is how she'll start misbehaving.
Exactly.
She'll start following, and maybe just apart from him, she'll start following other men, and you start seeing she'll be wayward.
Yes.
And the parents will be like, I've tried my best, I've done my best for you. You have not done, your best is not enough.
Your best is not enough, exactly. So Mimi, do you feel very nice communicating about like sexual stuff, intimate stuff with the other gender, with your sisters?
With my sisters, yes, because my sister has advised me a lot. I give credit to that, because my sister, my mother, like when it comes to sensitive topics, it's not actually new in my house, so it's something I'm used to. Even sometimes I'll be like, hi, oh God, I've come again with this topic.
Okay.
But I know that it's for my use. I know that it's for my good. So even though sometimes I do get tired with that topic, but I know that at the end of the day,
you're comfortable talking to them. What about you, Laady?
Yeah, I feel comfortable talking to my sisters. We actually talk, like I practically tell them everything I need, like I have on my mind. Even if a guy should like ask me out, or if I'm abused, I talk to them and they give me advice. So
okay, so
I feel free.
You all will agree with me that girl child or sex education should be necessary for a girl child.
Yeah.
Okay, so today is International Day for the Girl Child. I want to empower girls with this knowledge that yes, you are what you think you are. Beautiful, intelligent, kind, loving. I know you have goals and dreams you want to achieve, so why be distracted, especially by men and other pleasures? You should embody positivity and embrace it. To guide your thoughts, be true to yourself and acknowledge the damages your bad decision have caused you. It's never too late to start over. More so, communication is indeed very necessary for most aspects of our lives, if not all, and engaging in effective and productive communication with people, especially family, creates more understanding and oneness to parents and their children, extending to family and also the society and community at large. That's it on today's episode of Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi. I am Benedine Yaapera, and my friends
Laady Louisa.
Kwatuli Mimi.
Don't forget to remember to like our page on Facebook. That's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi. Stay up to speed with the latest updates. See you soon.